Okay. Are we all ready? Okay, I would like to open this Washington Unified School District Regular Board of Education meeting for March 9th, 2017. Thank you all for waiting. I know we're out a little bit later than we had hoped, so we appreciate that. First, let the record reflect that all board trustees are present. And now we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have lots of students tonight that we're celebrating. And our youngest one we're celebrating is Zaya Thomas. Zaya, are you here? Is Zaya here? Zaya, do you want to stand up and lead us in the pledge? We're all going to do the pledge right now. So if you could start and just say, I pledge allegiance for us, then we will do that. Thank you. Very nice job. Okay. That takes us to the announcement of actions taken in closed session. We have E1, which is Education Code 35146, 48912, 48918, 49070, Student Discipline, case number 1617-A. The board will be taking action later on the agenda regarding this case. We have E2, Government Code Section 54957.6, Conference with Labor Negotiators, CSEA, and direction was given. We have E3, Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release, Reassignment. While in closed session, the board met and discussed public employee discipline, dismissal, release, and reassignment. By the following vote, 5 yes, the board took action to adopt resolution number 161718, reassigning one certificated administrator from his or her position for the 2017-2018 school year and reassigning him or her to a position for which he or she is credentialed and qualified to serve. We have E4, Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Superintendent Evaluation. Information was received. Okay, and that takes us to approval of the agenda. Superintendent Luna?
Thank you, President Kirby-Gonzalez. If I may request that the Board of Trustees consider tabling Consent Agenda Item P12, approval of the 2017-18 Collaboration and Minimum Day Calendar, tabled to the next meeting, which will be March 23rd.
Okay. Any other changes?
Yes, I have a request to move consent items P2, P3, and P4 to the action items.
Okay, P2, P3, and P4. Okay. Are there any other changes? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda with those changes?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
And I too vote aye. That takes us to our communications and celebrations, probably the reason that many of you are here. So we have J1, the UC Davis High School Energy Efficiency Program, and that's Stan Moisik, principal of River City High School.
Thank you, Ms. President Kirby-Gonzalez. Thank you, board members. Thank you for having us here and celebrating all these wonderful students that we have in our district. Thank you, Cabinet, for allowing us to do this. I'm going to bring up our teacher who has led this project so she can tell you the important details that she knows better than anybody else because of her hard work, and that's Mrs. Phyllis Cruz, our science teacher from River City High School. Could you please come up, Phyllis?
Good evening. I would just like to say thank you to you guys. This has been a wonderful experience for our students, our wonderful high school students, in partnership with the City of West Sacramento the Yolo County Office of Ed, they've helped us with field trips and monetary help with different things that we've done, and UC Davis Energy Efficiency Center. So the partnership has been a great experience for our students, and I would just like to introduce Anika from UC Davis Energy Efficiency Center to tell you guys a little bit more, and our students who all would like to tell you a little bit about their experiences with the program. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anika. I am a third-year undergraduate UC Davis student and the head coordinator of this year's UC Davis Energy Efficiency Center high school program. So the program was essentially, the purpose of it was to introduce energy efficiency in the younger generations and give students a hands-on experience with energy auditing. So I personally wanted to thank the board for allowing me to work with all of these really great students. And I learned so much from working with them over these past 12 weeks. And so luckily, I brought a couple of the students who took part in this program, and they're here to share with you a little bit about their experiences.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jagjit, and I was part of the energy efficiency program this year for the first time, and I had a great fun. And I would like to thank the board members for allowing us to work with UC Davis Energy Efficiency Center. Also, I would like to thank the Yolo County Office of Ed and West Sacramento, and also Anthony Williams, who helped us with the audit at Stonegate.
Good evening. My name is Salman. It's nice to meet you all. I was here last year for Solar Suitcase, and I also participated in the UC Davis Energy Audit prior to this year as well. In 2014, Stonegate Elementary saved $8,800 prior to our audit, which is quite incredible. And even more amazing is that last year there was a 15% power consumption, decrease in power consumption, which is quite amazing because it saved $20,000 for the school. We can see from the data that Stonegate Elementary has been doing exceptionally well, and we would like them to continue doing so. We found no need for a high-cost ECM or energy consumption measure, and all of our findings are provided in the PowerPoint that you were given.
Good afternoon. I'm Jose Garcia, and I'm a currently enrolled River City High School student. And I've done this program for 2 years, the energy efficiency audit. And things that I've learned is that each year you get a new experience and you gather more learning. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Leslie Garcia, and I was also part of the energy efficiency program for 2 years. This program and the energy efficiency program and the collaboration with UC Davis has helped me learn and become aware of our energy usage. This program gave us opportunity to compare different sizes of energy. Last year we audited our school, and this year we had the opportunity to audit Stonegate Elementary. Being able to work with UC Davis and their Energy Efficiency Center has been a great experience. And I would also like to mention that they offered us an internship, and many of us plan to participate in the internship with their Energy Efficiency Center.
Hello, my name is Kyle, and I just want to say I'm very happy to be part of this program because it not only broadened my view about how we use it, and how it's used by other people, it also taught me how to be efficient with it and increase the output. It also affected my personal life because now I try to be efficient with the energy at home as well. Thank you.
Evening, everyone. My name's Zach, and junior year at River City High School right now. But during this program, I learned that there is such thing as too much lighting. It's a little weird, but in the classroom environment, it's good to have lower amounts of lighting depending on what we're doing. Other classrooms would depend on more or different placements. But what was great about this experience was the hands-on learning actually provided a lot easier way to pick up on what we were learning itself. So learned a little bit more about how energy actually flowed through everything, like how much more did it use here, how much less did it use there, just different things like that. Thank you.
So thank you guys for having us tonight. And I do want to say also thank you to Anthony Williams and his energy. He was a big help in this project as well. Thank you.
Any comments?
At this time, we do have certificates for you, and then we're going to take a group picture. So if you can hold on just a second. So we're going to give you a certificate and also shaking the hand of our board president, Sarah Kirby Gonzalez. So as your name is called, we're going to get a group photo there. So we're going to have you line up right here, okay? So Phyllis Cruz. Oh, there. Sorry, behind us. So I'll let you stand over there. Leslie Garcia. Yeah, you are. Congratulations. You just stand over there. Jajit Singh. Jose Garcia.
I'm a photobomb the picture.
Thank you.
Photobomb the picture.
Salman Malakze. Thank you. Very good. Zachary Pitcher. Maria Reynosa will let you take her certificate, and also Liz S. Okay. And so Kyle, congratulations. Very good. All right, so group photo.
Come together a little bit. Everyone turn to the side. There you go. Smile. 1, 2. Hold on. There we go.
All right. Thank you very much for that, and especially important as we think about building another school, possibly in the future, important things to think about. That takes us to J2, Art of Baseball Calendar Program, and Grace Chin, the principal of Bridgeway Island Elementary School. Oh, in her place, we have Belinda. Welcome.
Good evening to the board and to the cabinet. Thank you for allowing us to be here, and thank you for allowing us to have the VAPA program that reaches K through 5 students, which has led us here. We are in our art round right now. And again, sorry, my name is Belinda Rapp-Patterson, one of the assistant principals at Bridgeway Island, and I'm going to be calling up 4 of our 5th graders who were chosen as winners in the calendar. So I'll start with William Albright. And these are copies of their artwork. And Evelyn Cortez. Naveen Bonin. And Mr. Leopold Stoddard.
Yes, and we also have, yes, Southport Elementary School.
Thank you, Board. I'm Matt Ainsworth, the assistant principal at Southport. And we want to honor, we have 4 of our students as well. We have Zaya Thomas. Lily Ramirez. Alana Santos. And Amelia Blunt. But this couldn't be done without our wonderful VAPA art teacher, Miss Nikiba Gregory is here. We want to bring her up as well. And the students have copies of the calendar that they want to share with the board and to cabinet.
Oh, great.
So they're going to deliver it to you right now. You want to go take one out? Pick anybody that looks important. You want to do a picture? And you have a certificate as well? Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then we're going to stay right here. We're going to do...
Yeah, we're going to do a big photo and everything,
that's great.
okay? Oh, it's beautiful.
This is neat.
So I wanted to let you know that the kids, they did an amazing job on their artwork. The whole school, both schools, they did amazing. And these are the ones that were recognized for it. They're going to be brought over to the River Cats on April 8th, out onto the field and recognized on the field on that day also.
That's great. Look at this. Very nice. So we do have certificates from Washington Unified School District, and so we're going to give you another certificate with the official seal here. So you're going to, as your name is called, what we'll do as an audience is wait till everybody receives their certificate, and then we'll have one big round of applause for you, okay? All right, we're going to first start with Evelyn Cortez. Come on up and shake the hand of our board president. And Naveen Bonin. William Albrecht. Leopold Stoddard Ware. Amelia Blanc. Alana Santos. Lily Ramirez. And Zaya Thomas. And we also want to honor our great art teacher, Nikiba Gregory. All right, so now the group photo.
Let's get a little bit more together. Don't be too shy. I'll just, wherever they go, I'll go like this. All right, 1, 2, 3. Good, thank you.
I'm passing out a copy for our, the pop art museum.
Oh, good.
So we have Oh, perfect, thank you. Okay. And next we have J3, which is our Spanish Dual Language Immersion Program. Lisa Smith, who's the principal of Elkhorn Village Elementary School. Welcome up.
Good evening. I want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come today to share information about our dual immersion program. We have had a successful year and a very enthusiastic registration for our incoming children. And we have a wonderful program specialist, Yolanda Saka, who's always looking for new ways to communicate with parents in the program and prospective parents we hope will be part of the program. And I want her to share with you her latest project.
Hello, board members. Thank you for having us tonight. Lucas Monteros here is our great cinematographer who put together the video that we'll be sharing tonight. I also want to thank his mom, Laura, who helped in the background, make sure it all happened and help us meet and do all the filming, so thank you for that. And yeah, we're really proud of the work we've done with dual immersion. It's been a team effort. The teachers, administration, the staff at Elkhorn has been very supportive, and we've had a very good turnout as far as the community coming out. So kinder registration was February 25th, and we now have filled both classes, but we're taking more as they come. So we're on to our testing of languages at this point. So Ashley, if you can, please play the video we'd like to share.
So Board of Trustees, this video was used in the showcase and was created by our own student.
We'll have him share afterward.
The Spanish Dual Immersion Program at Elkhorn Village, in partnership with its families and a community of learners, offers a diverse and supportive community of learners. By cultivating bilingual, biliterate, and multicultural competent students, our lifelong learners will be able to reach high levels of equity and achievement in the 21st century.
Our teachers are B-Class certified and receive ongoing training and support for best practices in our dual immersion program.
Elkhorn has a K-8 two-way dual immersion program in English and Spanish. Students will follow a 90-10 model of instruction starting in kindergarten. Courses will be offered for students to receive a seal of biliteracy in high school. I believe that dual immersion is so important because while there are obvious academic and cognitive benefits, I really believe in the expansion of one's worldview, especially at such a young age. I think it's so important to expose yourself to other cultures, ethnicities, and perspectives. And I think it's so valuable that our kids get to do that from even the age of 5 to 6 years old.
Nowadays, it's important to learn a new language. Starting early in a dual immersion program makes it easier to acquire the new language. Students will learn a new language and be exposed to other cultures. By doing so, students will be more prepared for the 21st century. We use Common Core aligned curriculum, and the use of technology and inquiry-based instruction begins in kinder.
Okay, Maximus?
La casa es café.
Ooh, okay.
Seeing tremendous growth in my son. He was born and raised in the Salinas Valley area, and we were heavily immersed with dual immersion school and bilingual and monolingual family, but he was so young that he wasn't really speaking a lot of Spanish. And then we had a large time frame where we didn't speak Spanish in the home, about 2 years. And on his first day of kindergarten, he came home talking in Spanish already. And I think the impact of having some of that language in his past, but then coming into a classroom where that's all that is happening, has really helped him take that information, process it, and use it really quickly. He informs us on a daily basis of new words he's learned. If he thinks we're saying a word wrong, he corrects us. And just seeing this incredible growth within himself, and also I think the confidence that he has started to display using English, and definitely then bringing Spanish into the home.
I really like the fact of having a fresh brain in kinder who has no idea about the school environment at all, being able to start there with the second language.
Do you feel your child feels comfortable in the setting, in the dual immersion setting?
Yes, yes. Be willing to expand your child's development in their brain and think about their future. You know, there's a lot of places out there that you're culturally challenged because you don't know the language, and you kind of feel a little hesitant to go to those places, or you know, you feel awkward or left out. And knowing that second language is definitely a plus.
Y antes de inscribir a su hija, ¿qué fueron los pensamientos que tuvo usted acerca del programa?
Pues sí, tenía duda, platicando con mi esposa, le decía que a lo mejor se iba a retrasar en aprender, especialmente los dos idiomas, el español y el inglés, pero pues estaba un poco nervioso y dijo ella, no, va a estar bien. Entonces ya que miré que al mes estaba desarrollándose y le gusta pues como que le ponen bastante interés y pues estamos muy contentos de que del modo que ellos integran estas clases a los niños, del modo que los enseñan. Es muy beneficiable. Bueno, pues yo les recomiendo que no hay ninguna duda, el programa es excelente. Como les digo, este programa les abrirá muchas puertas a los niños cuando ellos crezcan, cuando ya posiblemente agarren un trabajo. Yo lo recomiendo sin pensarlo. Porque pues ya mis dudas salieron y esperamos que síganos apoyando este programa para que los niños que vienen atrás puedan
So thank you, Lucas, for that great work. He put a lot of time and dedication into that, so thank you for that. If you'd like to say something.
That was a lot of hard work. I learned a lot about the program, and
worked together with the staff to put it together. I would like to thank the board and Elkhorn Village for this opportunity.
This was so special to see kind of this program come alive that you all have worked so hard from the ground up to build, and really a passion, and you have the right teachers for it. It's just been really incredible to watch the program. I went there on registration day, and you already had people coming from all over town bringing their applications, and it was just, it's really special, and so you captured that so beautifully. Thank you very much for that. Do you have one more?
Nice job.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice
nice
job.
job. It was great.
Yes, Elkhorn had about 15 families waiting in line before registration opened. So congratulations to that. Congratulations to Lucas Monteros for that fine work, and thank you for your help on that. Very congratulations. Our program has flourished because of the work of our program specialist, Yolanda Saka. And of course, leading at the helm there is our principal, Lisa Smith.
Let's do a photo up front. All right, on three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to our student board member report, and tonight we have James Kirshner here from West Sacramento Early College Prep.
Hi, thank you. It's great to be here. I'd like to say good evening, board president, board members, Superintendent Luna, and community members. As she said, I am James Kirshner, school representative from West Sacramento Early College Prep. This will be the board report for March 9th, 2017. At Southport Elementary, the sixth grade students would like to thank the Board of Education for the opportunity to attend a week-long experience at Sly Park last week. The students were well-behaved, and Southport teachers and chaperones received many compliments on their behavior. Southport Elementary was chosen by the West Sacramento Trail Riders Association to award 2 scholarships to attend Wolf Mountain Camp in Grass Valley for 1 week this summer. Camp activities will include field games, horseback trail rides, team building, crafts, archery, swimming pools, pond zipline, and much more. Southport would like to publicly thank the West Sacramento Trail Riders Association for this generous opportunity for two of the students. Southport Elementary would like to invite you to attend the first grade spelling bee on Tuesday, March 21st at 8:30. Students have been practicing for months to prepare for this event and hope to see you there. Please mark your calendars for Southport's 3rd annual family dance event. The dance will be Friday, March 31st at 6 p.m., and the theme is Boot Scooting Boogie. Admission is free and prepaid meal plans are available. Please see the website for more details. So dust off your cowboy boots, and we hope to see you all there at the family dance. For Elkhorn, they are hosting a youth synopsism this Saturday for all students in grades 6 through 12. It is hosted by Eta Alpha alumni. From 10 to 2, lunch will be provided, and there will be STEM experiences there. On Saturday, March 25th, Elkhorn will celebrate STEM Day 2017. There will be a school-wide math competition with an award ceremony at 12. For Bridgeway, they would like to give a special shout-out to Miss Verna Solpizo, the CEO to West Sacramento Chamber of Commerce, for coming to Bridgeway Island to be the principal for a day on March 2nd. Events happening at Bridgeway include the 6th to 8th grade students are competing in a Science Olympia on March 4th at Mira Loma High School. BWI students are currently participating in the Pennies for Patients program with an end goal of $8,000. Proceeds go to help children faced with leukemia. BWI students will be competing in an oral language fest Wednesday, March 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. Come watch the celebration for the traditions of oral presentations as a means of entertainment communication being held at Bridgeway Island. Kevin Bracey will also be having a rally March 16th. There will be a couple field trips this month. The sixth graders will be going on an overnight field trip to Sly Hill Park for 3 days, March 24th, 25th, and 26th. The eighth graders are headed to CSU Chico for a day. For River City, they are getting ready to take their midterms, but they have some highlights this spring they wanted to share with everybody. They invite everyone March 9th through 11th to Alice's Adventure in Wonderland at 7 p.m. in the Black Box Theater at River City High School. Congratulations to the Wind Ensemble for a unanimous superior rating at the Wood Creek Concert Band Festival, Big Band for a unanimous superior rating at the Stan Salas State Jazz Festival, and Flautis Victoria Gloveshkin for a superior rating at the Solo Ensemble Festival at CSUS. This qualifies her for the state level festival. For boys tennis, continuing on with their winning ways, the Raiders are currently 4-1 overall and 1-0 in conference play. Last night, the Raiders defeated Pioneer 8-1. We are hoping to keep the streak of consecutive conference championships alive with another great team. The Raiders take on Christian Brothers Friday at 3:30. For softball is starting the year off with a bang. So far, they have beaten the number 4 ranked Vista del Lago and number 9 ranked St. Francis. They're currently ranked 16th in the Sacramento Bee, but look to move up with these 2 impressive victories. The ladies will be in action this weekend at the Sacramento Softball Complex in Victory Tournament. Next weekend, the Lady Raiders will be hosting the Albee Awareness Softball Tournament to raise funds for cancer. The River City Athletic Boosters have volunteered to donate the proceeds of the snack bar to this cause, and they are very thankful for this. They're very, generous for this generous act. They like the support and hope to see it more in the future. They are very excited for the track and field teams. They have grown enormously. The number of student athletes that play other sports competing in track this year, the team consists of over 60 student athletes. River City will be hosting the league champs this year, so they are excited to show off this facility to the greater Sacramento area. For baseball, the boys have gotten off to a bit of a rough start this season. They dropped their first 2 games to Capital Christian and Delta. Respectively, the teams will begin league play next week with home games Monday and Friday versus River Valley, the game starting at 3:30 p.m. Boys volleyball is only its second year at River City High School. Not only is it a new sport to the school, but it is new to the community. With that being said, they are very excited about offering this sport to our student athletes. In this first league match, the boys lost to Rio Linda in 3 sets. The boys will take on Pioneer tonight. The swim team is off to a great start. The boys and girls won their first TCC meets this season. The boys won 123-36 over Rio Linda, and the girls won 108-50 versus Rio Linda. The swimmers will be back in the pool this Friday at 4 p.m. if you would like to see them compete. Boys golf is like volleyball. It's very new to River City. We are hoping to see the program grow over the next few years. We currently have a few girls participating with the team, with hopes of adding a girls team in the near future. The boys are playing their first match this afternoon. Here at West Sac Prep, so far, it's been a little bit of a weird start this year, but we have taken a field trip to City Hall and the Community Center. The students got to meet all members of the City Council to ask questions, along with getting a tour of the facilities. Another field trip will be happening soon with the students. They'll be going to the courthouse. They will be touring the election department and administration office, and the tour will end with the view of the new courthouse. They will be met by Judge Rosenberg. College courses have been going great. 90% of the students are taking at least 1 college course. More than half are taking 2 college courses. And all courses are transferable to a UC/CSU. We will be using public transit in the future, so that students will have the opportunity to take college courses at the main campus or the Davis Satellite Center, if they so please. We are currently planning a Spirit Week for the near future, so that students will be able to show their school spirit. And that will conclude the board report for March 9th, 2017.
We will transition and move into the WTA report with Don Stauffer.
Good evening. I hope everybody is enjoying our spring weather as we also are waiting in the pause between the deluges that we've been experiencing. Any case, the showing of the film Most Like to Succeed is scheduled for next Monday evening at Bright Campus. Last I heard, we had 75 signups. So it should be a festive evening, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to the conversation about what schools should be in the 21st century. As we move forward in these uncharted waters, it's my understanding that another day without immigrants has been scheduled for May 1st. This is similar to the one that was held in January, where a number of people left work and a number of students didn't go to school that day. Obviously, we want our kids to remain in school, and I know my parent organization, CTA, has scheduled a day of action for that day and is encouraging such events as walk-ins with parents, and is encouraging teachers and districts to stand up for our immigrant kids and stand up for keeping and creating campuses which are supportive of all of our kids and all of their families. And I think it would give us an opportunity to show off our safe haven resolution. And I'm hoping that we can partner with the district on creating some activities for that day. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have our CSEA report. Is Ray Tolbert here? Do we have? Oh, okay, thank you. So they will not be here tonight. Okay, that takes us to public comment. So I'll read the disclaimer, and that is at this time, members of the public may address the board on topics that are under the jurisdiction of the board and not on the agenda, although the board by law may not take action at this meeting. The board may limit the total time for public input on any topic to 20 minutes unless it chooses to waive the item limit for the particular item. Individual speakers may be limited to 3 minutes to comment on a topic. Public comments consisting of individual charges, complaints, or derogatory remarks about any district employee are requested to be submitted in writing to the administration in accordance with the district's complaint procedure. We do recognize that for a lot of people, commenting before the board and the audience watching at home on television is a nerve-wracking experience. So to try to make that as easy as possible, we ask that we don't have applause, although been nice applause tonight, and no booing or catcalling or other demonstrations, and that we have a civil discourse in the chambers. Also, I'll give a disclaimer that as we read the public comments, I might normally in a normal setting run over and make sure I'm pronouncing names right, but I can't do that in this setting. So if I mispronounce your name, it's certainly never personal or intended. And so with that said, we have Jennifer McAllister coming on up with our FFA, I think is what we're going to hear. Great.
So hello, President Kirby Gonzalez and School Board and Superintendent Luna and Cabinet members. I'm Mrs. McAllister. Where am I at? I'm at Bright, West Sacramento FFA Ag Advisor. So I gave Alicia her T-shirt, and Ashley stopped me. She's like, so what's going on? And so I had to tell her about the awesomeness that happened today. She's like, oh, well, you should tell us all about the awesomeness. I'm like, okay, fine. So what happened today was part of FFA is public speaking. And so today, all of my ag students have to have a project, a supervised agricultural experience. And so each chapter gets to choose 2 of their FFA members to present their project to judges from Yolo County. So we had 2 judges come to Bright today, and Miss Samantha Stout and Miss Zoe Anderson, who's not here right now, got to present to the judges, and they were just so excited. And so Samantha's just going to tell you real quick about their experience, and I'm super proud of them. The judges were super complimentary of them and of the program and all the things that we've done so far this year. So there you go, Samantha.
Hi, my name is Samantha. So a little bit of backstory. So we have SAE projects, and I'm currently raising 6 chickens for my project. It is very new to my family and to our program, so it was kind of first kind of thing, so you're stepping your foot in the water to kind of see how it feels and how it's going to work out. The judges were really impressed with our campus as well. We gave them a small tour around our campus to go see we have, what are they called, the garden beds? Yeah, we have garden beds that are that were built by our students, and we have 8 chickens on campus that we got to show them around, and they really enjoyed it, and they cannot wait to hear back from us and hopefully judge us in the future. So it'll be really awesome.
And real quick, Zoe Anderson's SAE is Hotshot, her Appaloosa gelding that she does gymkhana on. And so I got to go see her and I compete and stuff. So the judges were just super impressed with the girls' ability to speak and articulate and express their thoughts and share what they had. They both had trifolds and they answered questions really well. So the interview was like 20 to 30 minutes. And so everybody was just really excited. So we thought we'd share that with you. So, thank you.
I have 2 questions. Yes. 2 comments. One, quickly, you might want to get a plug for how to buy your T-shirts.
Right.
Alicia got the last one.
Oh, of course she did.
I can put it up for auction and donate the money back.
There you go.
And I have another question about purchasing eggs through your part, because they're very good, by the way.
Yes,
So
thank you.
Are there ways for the public to do that on a regular basis, or?
Absolutely. Please come to Bright, 637 Todd Hunter. Here in West Sacramento, it's $5 a dozen, $9 for 2 dozen, and they're homegrown.
Nice.
They're laid fresh that morning or the day before, and the days are getting longer, so ladies are just, yeah, they're getting them done, so, yeah. So you want some, they're there.
During school hours, or your?
Of course, yeah, Isabel will
Just
sell them
making
to you,
sure.
they'll sit there in the refrigerator, absolutely. So they're all good.
Well, and you're touching more than just our community. I don't know if you know that the eggs are a hot topic on the Nextdoor app. Everybody's asking where they can get them, and they're pointing to the Bright Cafe. So.
Okay, 637 Todd Hunter, everybody,
Exactly.
go, get your eggs. We have 2 dozen waiting for you. So, all right, we're
Okay.
good.
And I'll just give a compliment that every time that we hear the students from your program, always so well-spoken and representing our district so well. So thank you for all being here tonight. All right, our next public comment is Carmen Wright. I think we're going to hear about Elkhorn STEM.
Good evening. My name is Carmen Wright. I'm an Elkhorn math teacher. On March 25th, it was reported by our student board member that Elkhorn will be hosting our 3rd annual STEM Day, formerly known as Math Day. We currently have over 100 students signed up, about 15 teachers already committed to it. We wanted to verbally invite you to the day, March 25th at Elkhorn. We will be engaging and encouraging our students with science, technology, engineering, and math. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for staying and giving us that. And before we end public comment, I'll say that if anyone wants to make a public comment on any of the agenda items, we ask that you fill out a blue slip and give it to staff before the end of the staff report. So after staff is done, then we will no longer be accepting the comments. Okay, and that takes us to our board and superintendent comments. So board member Long.
Thank you, President Kirby Gonzalez. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I might rush through this. So I wanted to actually first thank the Curriculum Council and the teachers and the administrators and the staff who actually spent some time over these last year or so to adopt and recommend the secondary ELA adoptions. I was really impressed with the conversations we had, and even though I was new, I knew that you guys had actually put some heart and soul into it, and blood, sweat, and tears, it sounds like. So really, really appreciate that you all went through that process, and really impressed that our 6-8 recommendation kind of was the same as the high school recommendation. So I'm really excited about what that's going to mean for our schools in the coming years. So I'm glad that we're making that investment, and I'm glad that the teachers were part of that. So I appreciate that. I also wanted to acknowledge the staff and the school districts, the school administrators on a really successful TK and kindergarten registration. I had the benefit of what time did we start, Linda? 6:30 a.m. Coffee, and just everything ran like clockwork that day on the campuses that I visited. And Linda went down over to every single campus with donuts and whatnot. And just it was just a welcoming community, and it was really great to see all the parents who are choosing Washington Unified School District. Really just warmed my heart to see all those parents and families. And I also participated in Read Across America, as did the rest of the board. At my school, I got to read to both my children. Thank you. I thought I wasn't going to be able to because we were supposed to be assigned other classes, but thank you, Superintendent Luna, for letting me read to my children at Southport. And City Councilwoman Karina Orozco also got a chance to visit our campus and had nothing but wonderful things to say about our campus, and really was impressed. And I think that hopefully a lot more parents will come visit our school sites, because people don't understand how we've changed from our past, and there's just a lot of really great things. She commented on how great our TK classes were, our kindergarten classes were, how well behaved our students were, how focused they were, and something that we know as parents here in the district that happens every day. Right, and so really proud to show off Washington Unified, really appreciative of all the community members who actually participated in Read Across America and the Principal for a Day program, because I think that was a brilliant idea. Thank you for bringing that to us, and hopefully we can do that every single year just to kind of open our doors to the community a little bit more. Congratulations on a very successful community forum round. Really appreciative of all the work that was put into that, and hopefully we got a lot of really great information out on that. And lastly, I just wanted to acknowledge that there's going to be my first CSBA Delegate Assembly May 20th and 21st, so hopefully I can represent, again, Washington Unified well in the area, and looking forward to being able to do that. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm sure you will represent us very well. All right. Okay. All right. So let's go to Board Trustee Akala.
Thank you. I had a great time celebrating Read Across America, Dr. Seuss' birthday, March 2nd, by reading to the kindergartners at Stonegate Elementary. I want to thank their teacher, Rebecca Nyberg, and all the students for making me feel so welcome in their class. I read the book, Pete the Cat, to the students, so we had an exciting time trying to figure out who was stealing the cupcakes that Pete and his friends had made for the party. I asked the students if they had read any other Dr. Seuss books, and they all took turns telling me about their favorite Dr. Seuss. It was a wonderful morning. Later in the day, I joined community leaders who had participated in WUSD's Principal for the Day at the Bright Culinary Academy for another outstanding culinary meal. Fellow board members, President Sarah Kirby-Gonzalez, Vice President Kobe Pizzotti, and board member Jackie Wong also attended. I sat with Lisa Smith, principal at Elkhorn Elementary, Principal Ben Kingsbury at Stonegate, West Sacramento Rotary President Bill Bevier, I believe that's the pronunciation, who was principal for the day at Stonegate, and with Sonia Garcia, the director of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Our superintendent, Linda Luna, did another outstanding job bringing together stakeholders who share in our mission to make WUSD the gateway to extraordinary possibilities for our students. Also, this last Saturday, I attended an informative presentation in Woodland on the importance of ethnic studies in our schools. The event was a combination of workshops, lectures, multicultural drama, and dance. Our Yolo County Superintendent, Jesse Ortiz, was one of the MCs. The presenters recommended that ethnic studies should be introduced to students before college to encourage greater appreciation for other cultures, contributions, and fostering an atmosphere of acceptance for other cultures as part of educating our students. And so I think it's really wonderful that we have our dual immersion program. We're really starting them young. Finally, I want to remind everyone that this Saturday is Cesar Chavez Youth Leadership Conference at UC Davis. I will be there assisting with registration and hope to see many of our students attending. One of the most important workshops is a workshop that helps students apply for colleges and also for financial aid. There will be many speakers, including California Assembly Member Anthony Rondon. They provide a free lunch. It's a wonderful opportunity for all our students. Thank you.
Okay. Board Trustee Cruz.
Well, it's really exciting to hear that we're all able to make it to different events, and we're spreading the wealth. So one thing that I did attend, and Superintendent, what was that, President? Luna was there, and I saw Nikita and Carmen there at the crab feed at River City, out at the Auto Museum in Sacramento. And what a fun time that was. I mean, you know, I want to thank the volunteers. It was hard work. The crab was great. I mean, my son didn't eat the gumbo or the salad because he was waiting for the main event. But it was a great time, and it was a sold-out crowd. The band, the music was great, and, you know, being able to go around and see all the autos there, and it was just a fun time. And the next day, I got an invite to next year's already. So it was great. So get your tickets early. They may be sold out by now. I don't know. But that was fun, and I want to tell River City band what a great job they did. I was glad the student board member talked about Sly Park, because if you grew up here in West Sacramento, 6th grade, that was Sly Park. And I won't tell you how long ago I went, but I still have those memories. So I'm glad to see that our students are still able to have that event. I also attended the Yolo County School Board meeting there in Woodland, and that is board members from all of the different schools in Yolo County. And want to save the date for May 1st. I've mentioned it for your Yolo Excellence Awards. And as I said before, our Bright Cafe students will be serving about 300 people. So get your tickets. And also, I don't know if Stan can help me if he knows off the top of his head. I always put you on the spot, Stan, every time. But I know that the band, again, is having their mattress fundraiser coming up in March, and I'm not sure of the date off the top of my head, but, okay. All right, sorry about that. But it is coming up, so that's, they have a mattress fundraiser out at the high school, so I want to give them their shout out. And I think I'm going to have to end up getting another closet, because I do want to thank you guys for the t-shirt. I got a band t-shirt, and I wore it to the crab feed saying I was with the band. So, you know, I love seeing the t-shirts, and you know, just keep the emails coming. I enjoy coming out, seeing the students. They are not shy. They'll grab you by the hand. They'll show you everything out there. They have a great setup, and I know there's a few of them on Facebook that they show pictures daily, so I'm always in the loop. So it's a great organization, and again, thank you, and I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, thank you. Board Vice President Pizzotti.
Thank you. Like Trustee Wong, I am feeling pretty sick, so I'm going to make this as quick as I can. First and foremost, I went to the Yolo County Office of Education dinner, staying solvent in tough times. Is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. Yeah, in tough times for FICMAT. And Trustee Wong, as well as President Kirby Gonzalez, was there as well. It was very informative. I think we all learned a lot, especially what we're facing in the coming year, especially with not knowing how the market's going to react to, you know, to the new administration federally, and whether or not that's going to have a trickle-down effect here, you know, and how our economy is going to work. So it was very informative and interesting for, I think, all of us to learn on how to stay solvent. Secondly, my school for the principal for the day and Read Across America was Westmore Oaks. And my partner was Chief of Police McDonald. He and I had a great time, because the last time we met, he was encouraging me to slide down a water slide for National Night Out in a suit, which I did. So I talked him into doing a dunk booth for next National Night Out. So if we can try and work on getting that together. But I read the book Dragons Love Tacos, because of course they do. They just hate spicy salsa. So that was, I think, a great time. And I really enjoyed being, you know, principal for the day and sitting in on an actual parental discipline case with a child. It was great to actually just be a principal. So you got to see what happens. You actually see what really happens and what the difficult jobs that the principals have. So it was very interesting to me. And then I wanted to congratulate the high school energy efficiency program, the Art of Baseball calendar program, and Lisa and Yolanda for their dual immersion program. You all should be very proud of yourselves. You've done a great job. So thank you for that. And then I just got some information this afternoon about the Up for West Sac committee, which I'm a board member. I'm a board member of the executive committee, and Trustee Alcala is an alternate. Since the California First Five grant funds have been eliminated, there's effectively nothing to vote on. The Up for West Sac program or the board was designed to vote on the distribution of funds from that grant. So now that program or that grant funding has been eliminated, Cindy Tuttle from the city has put together a white paper, and it's basically stating that she's going to recommend that we dissolve the Up for West Sac board and participate through the Impact Consortia. So I've invited Cindy to come speak before the board and discuss with us what is going to happen and whether or not this is a good idea, so we can have a conversation about it. And with that, I'm going to go pass out.
I have to say, it's such an honor to serve with such dedicated board trustees, where you're covered in, cough lozenges and all sorts of tissues and everything up here. And so everyone is working hard and getting out, being visible, being at all the events, and it's just really, really nice to have everyone doing that. But I hope you get some rest. And we are thankful that you are a delegate for us. Board Trustee Wong. We haven't had representation from this district in a long time, so we're happy that you're doing that. Thank you. Of course, many of the things that happened have already, or many of the things I attended have been talked about. I just want to say one more time how impactful the Principal for a Day event was, and then being able to culminate and all come back together and have some time when everybody was together, I think was really powerful, because people were able to share their experiences. And while you had a pretty hard day as a Principal for a Day. I was with the CEO of the chamber, and we were judging doors, very important for Read Across America. And she goes, "This is a great job." And so we didn't see all the hard things that you do as principals, but it was a really important, as you said, window into our schools. And I think we need to do it annually. It was fabulous. And I know that we're probably going to have some requests and people who want to come out who weren't able to. Our 2x2 meeting with the City Council was rescheduled, and unfortunately just needed to be rescheduled again. So we're working on a date in April, so to be determined, and we'll keep you posted about that. I also was very thankful I got to do a ride-along with the police department a couple Sundays ago, and it was a great opportunity. I wanted to see what the city looked like maybe from a different perspective, and I have to say, the officer I was with, every road we went down was waving to all the neighbors, and a parent actually came up and kind of flagged him down and said, "I'd like you to help me out with my son. I'm having that kind of a hard time, and I just need your perspective." And it was great. I was there too, so I could hand the card and say, "We also have some district resources," because this was the student in our district that the officer was talking about. And so it was nice to see those community relationships up close, just driving through the neighborhoods, not planned, and I appreciated getting to do that. We are going to tonight, Superintendent Luna is going to forego her comments. So we're going to go into our public hearing, which is N1, English Language Arts Curriculum Adoption 612. Andy Parsons, Assistant Superintendent of Education Services.
Thank you, President Kirby Gonzalez, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Luna, and Cabinet and Community. Tonight we're requesting a public hearing on our new ELA adoption. There's been a modification that is before you. It's different than what was attached to the agenda, and I'll explain that in a moment. But it also modified the budget, which saves the district about $130,000 with the modification we recently made. So thought I'd make your day. Okay. I know, huh? Before I get started, I should introduce the two excellent teachers that I'm honored to have come out here tonight. We have Susan Smith from River City High School and Monique Judge from Stonegate. And they're going to discuss their experience with the ELA adoption in just a moment. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the process was. 6 through 8 piloted McGraw-Hill, Study Sync, and HMH collections. And 9 through 11 piloted Pearson, My Perspectives, and McGraw-Hill Study Sync. Those were the ones they decided on last year and piloted this year. The reason we did a modification, because we really looked at how to support our 12th grade students and teachers, and the expository reading and writing course, or ERWC, was approved by the board in 2009-2010, and it's been extremely successful and effective for our 12th grade students. And ERWC is promoted by CSU and UC for college and career readiness. In fact, in a couple weeks, Susan's going to be meeting with Sac State and looking at some articulation to do with Sac State to support our kids. It develops academic literacy, advanced proficiency in rhetorical and analytical reading, writing, and thinking. And it meets the UC-CSU English requirements and is aligned to Common Core state standards. But the adoption process that our teachers went through was very rigorous. The ELA cadre, they met in the fall and the beginning of the year to decide on a criteria for selection. They chose the Instructional Materials Evaluation Tool, or IMET, which is from CDE. And then the grade level teams met, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, met. They each had a release day to actually go through the objective criteria to choose a curriculum. And 9th through 11th grade teams met during their site collaboration days. And as Trustee Wong said, we also took it to the Curriculum Council on February 23rd, 2017. I just wanted to talk briefly about IMET, so you can see the objectivity the teachers went through in determining this ELA adoption. There are 3 non-negotiables. Anchor texts are worthy of students' time and attention, and texts are of quality and rigorous, containing rich academic language, meeting appropriate complexity criteria for each grade. And number 2, materials provide opportunities for rich and rigorous evidence-based discussions and writing about text to build strong literacy skills. And 3, materials build knowledge systematically through reading, writing, speaking, and listening, and language study. And then it has 4 alignment criteria that they looked at with all the publishers. The first one is materials that reflect the distribution of text type and genres required by the standards and are at the right text complexity for each grade level, student, and task. And 2, materials support students in building reading comprehension, in finding and producing textual evidence to support their responses. Number 3, materials build students' knowledge across topics and content areas. And 4, materials are designed to provide thoughtful support scaffolds to support all student learning in accessing Common Core state standards. And so the recommendation, and this was really great, 6 through 8 and 9 through 11, they all chose StudySync. And that's really great to provide consistency for our kids through middle school and then through high school. It is an 8-year adoption. So all materials, that quote is all consumables that we will get for 8 years. And I also put in there low tech, middle tech, and high tech, because the great thing about StudySync is you can do low tech, pencil, paper kind of a thing with StudySync. You can also have middle tech, in which we call blended learning. And you can also have high tech, because StudySync is very high technology once we provide professional learning to our teachers to support them and our students. And I just put some statements from 6 through 8, and I don't need to go through all those because I'd really like our teachers to discuss from their perspective how they believe they're going to be supporting all of our kids in middle school and high school. So I'm not sure which one wants to go first.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to come and talk about StudySync. We are so excited as English teachers to be looking at curriculum. It's been so long, and we've been dealing with materials that were aligned to the California state standards and not Common Core aligned. So we are thrilled to have this opportunity. When we met as a team, one of the things that we really liked about StudySync is that StudySync actually, thank you, StudySync actually had pieces that were relevant to our students. The first piece is an excerpt from Barrio Boy in the text that I was teaching. And it talked about that transition of being an immigrant coming to the United States, learning a new language. Another piece was from a perspective of a person who had come from Afghanistan and they were fleeing war. And these pieces are relevant to our students and their lives and their life experience. There were also pieces in there that were the more traditional 7th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade materials, and we were happy to see those friends, but we were really excited that there was new literature that would touch our kids. And it wasn't all fiction. There's biographies, there's informational text. It was just really exciting for us. And as we looked at the materials, we saw that it was very well thought out and very reflective of the way the Smarter Balanced assessment works. Even if you were in a text situation, if you had that in your classroom, you could even do a parallel windows where you had one side the text question and one side the actual text that you were studying. And that's very much how the Smarter Balanced looks when the students take the test. So it would give them that practice. But the questions and the phrasing were very much like what the students are being asked to do. Can you provide textual evidence for that? Where is this located? And we were over the moon when we saw that the kids could write in the books, because who would have thought that kids actually would want to highlight and annotate the text? So we were thrilled that this is a consumable product. It's not just math that lets you write in the book now. I'm trying to think. We were really pleased with the way that we could differentiate instruction. One of the things that we find challenging as teachers is to be able to meet the needs of all of our students at their learning levels. And StudySync offered us the opportunity to adjust the lexile of an informational text for students who needed it delivered a little bit in a little more easily understood format, and to push for our high kids to have the same curriculum met at 3 different levels. It also has what they're calling a designated English language learner path. And so it's stories and learning objectives that are consistent with the English language learner goals and the curriculum, the Common Core standards.
Thank you. Thank you. So that was, everything Monique says is true also about my end of the curriculum. Some other things that I want to point out is the ability to, for formative assessment that this provides. You can get instant feedback from the students using the digital the format that they give you. Students can get their own instant feedback as well. So when they answer certain questions, they get the information back, not just the teacher. We can get, using the, for the summative assessments, as well as formative assessment, you get feedback you can disaggregate the data by standard. It's fabulous, things that we've never been able to do. We're very excited with this new digital and consumable format in that we're not married to a particular curriculum, or we're married to the curriculum, but they can change things from year to year. When next year's consumables will be different from this year. They can make updates, they can make changes to stories to keep them relevant. So that 8 years from now, we're not teaching the same informational text. They'll still be new and fresh, and kids won't lose interest, so it'll be very engaging for the students. It's skill-based, so that we're teaching connotation, denotation, looking for, I get nervous in front of people. Looking for how to use text and how to find text and use it well and in all of those good things we do with text. It does model the CASP testing very well. Both so our summative tests are we have synthesis writing for our summative assessments, as well as practice performance tasks that mirror the CASP. We have. She mentioned the differentiation. We're very pleased with that. And the wide variety of text that it provides also provides a digital library for us, so that right now we're limited in the class sets. So if a teacher, if we don't have it on site, we either have to find the funds to buy it or we have to go out and buy it ourselves. This provides us a digital library that students have access to that absolutely frees us up for so many things that we can now reach out and teach. So it's just the opportunities that we see with this new curriculum are endless. So we're very, very pleased with this new curriculum.
And so tonight we asked for a public hearing, and all the curriculum is on display at the district office for community members to come by to take a look at it, and then we'll be bringing this back to the board at the next board meeting for an action item. Are there any questions or comments?
I have a couple. One, there's nothing better than having teachers go through curriculum and come up, and I just feel your passion, and it makes me excited to know that you have a tool that you're excited about, and that you really want to use. And so thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for sharing that excitement and that passion. I always balance, when I think about these types of things, you talk about a classroom library and being able to buy all these books and how hard that is because we don't have the funds to do it. And then I look at the price tag of a curriculum like this and I'm like, well, there's the fun, And so it's always a balance to me of how we make sure that we get the best. And so I just really appreciate that. I like that you said that it stays relevant, so the consumables can change and be updated. So that was important to me. I'm happy to hear about the digital library to help with that piece. There's also, I think, something special about reading a book, right? And some research would probably show that, but I'm glad that resource is there. I have a couple questions. One would be, you talk here about the importance of discussion, and I'm wondering if there's a model there that you use, or maybe it's a teaching strategy that you have. Yeah, I'd love to hear how that looks.
So the curriculum actually models academic discussions for students, and the students see students engaging in academic discourse, and they give the teachers, a pair share with your elbow partner question prompts that once the students have seen the model, they can practice. And actually, the designated ELD path also has speaking goals for our English language learning students.
Great. I think, too, about maybe like high school, like Socratic seminar or something like that, more than just pair share, maybe that you're doing not that that's not good, but that you're also maybe doing at the high school level.
Yeah.
Might there be that? Okay.
I don't know absolutely that is included in the curriculum, but we have, I'm also
skills.
I'm also one of the Avid teachers.
Yes.
So that is certainly, that's something that we use and that we have access to all the time.
Perfect.
Another thing that if you're, the publishers have already been very responsive to our needs. And so when we say, this is missing from this curriculum, they've already added curriculum.
Good.
So like when we said, well, we really like to teach Raising in the Sun in 11th grade, but you don't have any curriculum for that, they're already adding it. So they're fabulous.
Great. Okay, good. That's good to hear. And then the Lexile level, is that built in? Is that something that you're still staying with, that we're still staying with the Lexile level? Does that look different? Is this curriculum asked for students to have a Lexile level? I'm just wondering about that piece. Or if you know.
When we met last time at our district collab day, our 6-8 teachers talked about Lexile and how are we assessing students. And one of the things that we came back to is that we are using Lexile because we need some measure of where our students are to be able to gauge how we need to push them, whether we need to challenge them with more rigorous texts or we need to make adjustments to help them access the curriculum.
I would just argue, as we look at that we're careful that Lexile doesn't hinder kids, from reading ever. I've seen kids who, they have a box, and it's like, here's your box for your Lexile level, here's your box for your Lexile level, and it's not very motivating. Research would actually not support that, I would say. So I just caution that, as we talk about Lexile, that we make sure that we're also really looking at the research of how best to use it. And certainly we don't want students reading a text that they're really struggling with, but we also, I don't think, want to limit kids. And so I really appreciated, thank you for that. And then I'll end just with a comment and then I'm done. And that is when I had my, a neighbor come up to me and she's in 5th grade and she said, oh, we're doing, it's CAS test week, where we're doing CAS test prep. It just started and now we're going to do it from now till the end, until the test. And I just and so I just hope that we're careful how we may have the conversations here of how it might look like a test and mirror and support kids, but I want to be careful of how we're relaying that to the kids because I don't ever want my child coming home and being like, I'm doing test prep week. I want her to say, I'm preparing for life in the real world and how to do really well. So as we look at this and talk about how it models or might prepare them for a test, I just want to make sure that we're really careful, that we're really conscious of what that conversation is and that we're preparing them really to be citizens and for life, because I worry that sometimes the message in other avenues is about a test. But thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, and with that, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, so that takes us to information discussion item, and that is 01, Local Control Funding Formula, California School Dashboard Launch with Gwen Dillinger, our Director of Planning, Accountability, and Compensatory Education.
Good evening, and this was a great segue from what you were just talking about. So good evening, President Kirby-Gonzalez, trustees, Superintendent Luna, and Cabinet. There's my PowerPoint. As a Director of Planning and Accountability, I've been looking forward to sharing this information with you regarding the new California data dashboard set to publicly launch next week, Wednesday, March 15th. For those of you who don't know me, if you did, you'd know that I love data, and this data dashboard is like Christmas morning for me. I was waiting and waiting for it to get here. It's been a long time coming, so we're going to talk about it right now. The California School Dashboard stems from the passing of the Local Control Funding Formula, LCFF, which passed in 2013 and significantly changed how California provides resources to public schools and holds local educational agencies, LEAs, like our district, accountable for improving student performance. Some would agree that the move from sanctions and punishment and identifying schools as program improvement based on a single assessment is long overdue. The new model strives to support continuous improvement by supporting districts in identifying and improving areas of low performance while building on district strengths. The dashboard replaces the old API, or Academic Performance Index. It provides parents and educators a better picture with multiple indicators from academic to school climate, which provide a more holistic view of what is happening in the district. These indicators are aligned to the 8 state priorities under LCFF. And you'll notice when you see the dashboard, that's very easy to read. You no longer see numbers, but you see colors. So this is the shift, and in the trainings that I go to and the meetings that I go to, the new term is the California way. So this is now the California way, which is a shift from how do we compare? Are we at the top of the list? Are we at the bottom of the list? To how do we improve? What support and resources are available? And there's now technical assistance versus the old model that kind of didn't do that. So there are some key advantages regarding that. Definitely this is more than a single number. It's not that real estate number that we had for a very long time, because as former students, educators, and parents, we all know that a quality education is defined by more than a test score. We know that to increase equitable student outcomes, readiness for college and career among all populations, disparities among student groups must be addressed. So that's the equity piece. It's there in the resources, and you'll see that the accountability keeps that moving along. And also, this will help districts make important strategic planning process, which I know we're involved in right now. So this is going to be a key resource as the strategic process moves forward in planning. So introducing the dashboard, you'll see there's levels, blue being the highest, down to red being the lowest. I'm not sure if I call them pie pieces or pizza slices, but I will tell you that if you run this on a black and white, it's okay, because all the slices, if it's not in color, you'll still have 5 blue for blue, 4 for green, and it goes down like that. Or if you're colorblind, I guess. So here's another slide showing the highest to lowest. And when they talk about this, really schools and districts should be striving for green, and blue being just way up there, but green is great. So when you finally get to see the public launches on the 15th, the information was embargoed until February 22nd, but we are now allowed to share this data with the community, our community stakeholders. So when you log into the dashboard, you'll see there'll be a search box, and you can put in Washington Unified, and this will come up. Make sure you pick Washington Unified in Yolo County, because there's one in Fresno, and I did that. I was very shocked. So you can see the demographic data, enrollment, number of students who are socioeconomically disadvantaged, English learners. So that information is right there. And then underneath that is the equity report. So this equity report is a quick summary of the district's progress. So it gives you, currently we have 5 indicators. There are 2 still waiting and still being worked on at the state level. One is chronic absenteeism, and the other is the college and career indicator, which you'll hear called CCI. The local indicators are just that. They're local, and they'll be determined by the district, and the information on the local indicators will be input by the district. So this is an overview. However, if I want to look at English language arts performance, and I want to know, well, how did our English learners do on that assessment? How did our subgroups do? You can click, I can't do it because it's not live, but if you click on that little pizza color wheel, in any of those indicators, it will go deeper and show you your subgroups. So those are the indicators, and then if you wanted to click on any of those circles to get more information about that indicator. So I did that. I'm showing you a screenshot of the graduation rate. So you can see that it's broken down by subgroups, and then there's also a section for status and change. And that's a big difference. That's the part that says continuous improvement. Because where you're at is just as important as how much you've changed, increased, or decreased. So it's not a static system anymore. And they're of equal importance. So if you're a school that regularly performs at what used to be the 800 level, then your status would probably be green or blue. But if some of your subgroups are declining, you might slip into orange. And you can see an example of that right now. So If you look, this is graduation rate, and it's a cohort of 3 years. This data is not new. This is from 2016. On the bottom, you'll see all students. It's green. That's great. And the status is high. The graduation rate increased for all students by an amount. I can't even read it, but not by a ton, but it did increase. And then if you look, our English learners, the graduation rate was not as high. It was medium. However, the change increased significantly. So that resulted in a green. Does that make sense? Okay, it's pretty complicated, and it changes daily. I think it changed yesterday again, because SBE met. Every time they meet, there's new stuff that happens, but this won't change. Status and change are of equal importance. And you can see there's 5 levels. 5 levels of status and 5 levels of change. Okay. So again, I just wanted to remind you that this shift is about more than a single number, equity, and providing data for districts locally to make the best decisions for their students and their schools. I had 10 minutes to go over this, and I just really gave you the overview. I encourage you so much to go to that dashboard. There is a wealth of information. There are videos. There's a toolkit to communicate to your stakeholders. So I encourage you to check that out. And if you have questions, everyone in this district can help you. I can help you.
Okay, we have one right now.
Okay, how often does the grid change?
So
The information.
it'll kind of mirror what data does, that it happens in the fall after all the data comes in from SBAC. And some things change. A lot of times our CELT tests, our English learners, don't come in until January. So I don't think it'll be as static as the data quest used to be. But it just depends on when the data comes in. Graduation rates generally don't come in until the fall.
And then I noticed it's really hard to see, but where the dashboard reports are, I'm looking really close here. On the graduation rates, they had what they call the student groups. There were 6. What are those?
Let me read. So there's all students, English learners, foster youth, and we didn't so it's the subgroups.
Okay.
And those are the same subgroups you find as you dig into each of the sections.
Okay, question?
So, correct me if I'm wrong, you said the status and change, that slide, you said these numbers were from 2016?
This is the same data that's been available in DataQuest. It was presented in another format, basically percent proficient, your graduation rate was in there. This is just using that same data that we've had for several months and putting it into the new dashboard. So this dashboard will change as new data becomes available. Students are now taking the SBAC coming up in March. So when their scores are available, information will go into the dashboard as well.
So how come we don't have foster youth? Why does it say NA?
Because we don't have enough foster youth to keep their information private if we put that out there. So if it's less than 15, they won't show that. It's not statistically significant.
So we have less than 15 foster
I guess
youth?
per school.
Oh, per school.
Or for that cohort, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you, Amber. So we might have less than 15 English learners who are foster youth.
Your overall demographic is NA.
Oh, okay. So we just
On
don't
slide
have enough
number
to
8.
make it statistically significant. But you will see it at DataQuest. So I don't know. I can find out for you.
I'd like
Yeah.
to know, because I was under the impression that we're one of the highest school districts that have a large amount of foster youth. And so to me, that's important.
I think sometimes that information is not in CalPads, that they're not maybe noted as foster youth.
But they are.
Because, well, I don't know. I thought we only had 30.
The other thing to consider when we're looking at the data for specifically English learners, foster youth, and students in high poverty is that they can only be counted once. So perhaps the student might not be under identified under foster, but they are identified as an English learner. So they will not be counted twice. But we can identify for the board, we can get the exact number of how many foster youth are specifically at our schools and how many altogether in our district.
Okay, that would be helpful because, you know, in my day job, I help the department's data match on foster youth data. So if that's happening, I'd like to know to clean people's data.
And I'll check right away to see if foster youth data is available in other districts or schools, to see if we're just missing it or if it's a state indicator that's not there.
I have a couple. Will there be, is there a place to add narrative for these? So for example, for a subgroup, maybe you would add narrative on the foster youth. It doesn't sound like we have consensus on what's going on there, but of, you know, students were, are there places to add that within this dashboard?
There are places, however, not in the state indicators. There's a place for narrative in the local indicator.
Okay.
So
when
if you're explaining parent involvement, for instance.
Okay, so when I see the students with disability, you know, that if I was a parent who had students with disability or as a board member who cares about all students, you know, that's a red flag for me, but there's not a place I can look there for more information.
No,
then,
there's not. It's simply
unfortunately.
data. Yes.
Okay, okay. And then what is the process for us as we look at what our local indicators are and what they look like? I know we have strategic plans meeting, I don't know, groups meeting, I don't know if that's part of the process, or how will we identify what our local indicators are?
So we have our LCAP Parent Advisory Committee that is a stakeholder group that helps us with that. There are also some sort of common indicators out there that people are using, like the Healthy Kids Survey, for instance. So that is a work in progress. Okay. We'll be working together to make that happen. Those are not required this year, but they are encouraging districts to start playing with it, and then starting next year, it will be a requirement of local indicators. And in our LCAP, we have some suggestions for local indicators that we'll be looking at as well.
Would that show in the fall of next year or by the end of next year in terms of when we're required to have that data? Do you know?
I'll have to check on when the actual requirement is. Of course, we're hoping to get the local indicators in, you know, as quickly as we can, so that we can start measuring our growth.
I just have one more question. And then charter school, it just says no. Are we going to be able to, we have a dependent charter school. Is that just the charter schools that are underneath us, or is it when you say demographic, is it the charter schools in West Sacramento?
So they don't have a dashboard for charter schools or alternative ed schools yet, is my understanding.
Is it a secret? I was just wondering why, I mean, not you,
I don't know if they're
but I'm
working
like,
on it. But it's just not there. And like I said, this is a very new dashboard. There's still so much work to be done. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's fully grown out. But there is a lot of work. And like I said, at the State Board of Education meeting this week, they were making changes behind the scenes about how things are calculated. Yeah, every day it's a data dashboard update. So more to come.
Do you have any recommendations on how that data dashboard would be more functional or useful?
You know, I'm so happy about this dashboard right now. Just the way that the data is displayed and that the subgroups are still there. I'll be really interested to see how the public reacts to the academic indicator being points away from level 3, because that's very different from what folks are used to. I like it, but I think our parents are going to say, well, what does that mean? So being able to explain that, and just some of the complexity behind the colored circles, it might be a little bit difficult to explain to our stakeholders for the first couple years. But otherwise, it's so much better than what was before.
We're going to be working. Sorry, I'm jumping. We're going to be working with Yorgos's department of one to put out some communications to our parents and to all our stakeholders. And as Gwen stated, this is all new. Like, we're all still trying to figure this out from the state board down to the classroom level. And so there'll be a lot of teaching that we'll have to do through our LCAMP parent meetings, through our stakeholder groups, through strategic planning, and again, through just the regular communication. So this is just the first little touch of more to come.
They do promise they're not going to make major changes for 3 to 5 years, so we'll see.
Thank you very much. Okay, that takes us on to the consent agenda. We did earlier in this meeting, pull P12 for a future agenda item, and also P2, P3, and P4 have been moved to action. We'll do those after the rest of our action items that are already listed. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda with those changes.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I too vote aye. So now we're at action items. We have board action on student discipline case. And the board heard the student discipline case number 1617-A in closed session. Is there a motion to approve the recommended actions for case number 1617-A?
I move.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I too vote aye. Okay, and now we have Q2, which is approval of resolution number 1617-23, a reduction or elimination of particular kinds of certificated services. Michael Reed, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources.
Good evening. I'm going to recommend that we do a report on our wellness committee soon.
Yeah.
Wishing all of you the best and speedy recoveries. So this evening I want to explain to you the action item that's before you, 161723, and also 161724. One sec here, get the technology in my favor. So just a little bit about process. In that we have established procedures in place for determining staffing needs. And so starting in February of each year, the Student Services Department, Human Resources Department, and our Business Services Department begin meeting. And it's an ongoing process that lasts for about 6 to 8 months until the start of the following school year. Those meetings are used to assess, monitor, and project student enrollment for the upcoming school year. Those projections are used to determine preliminary certificated staffing levels needed to serve our students. So I say preliminary at this point in the year, as we get closer to the start of the school year for 17-18, they're no longer preliminary. We start solidifying exactly what our needs are based on student enrollment. That can actually carry into the beginning of the school year, because we could have students enrolling in the first, right up till school starting, and even into the first couple of weeks of school. So it's kind of a constant piece of motion. But so that gives you a little sense of how long this process goes on, and that it is an established procedure that we use to determine what our staffing needs are. So why do we start so early? Well, as you know, certificated layoffs is one of the reasons that we start early, because if we do need to make adjustments, we need to follow the statute, Ed Code 44955. In this process, if a layoff is needed, we need to make sure we are communicating with anybody who is going to be impacted by a potential layoff, but we also need your recommendation and approval to do so if that is needed. Failure to do that, to make these recommendations or adjustments, can result in overstaffing if that is something that we're seeing as a potential thing that it could be down the road for us. Oops, sorry, I'm not moving along with you here. So what are the numbers telling us currently? So our projected and current numbers indicate an excess of teachers holding only multiple subject credentials and an overstaffing at our preschool program. This is due to these following reasons. We have a few teachers who are returning from leaves of absence. We have enrollment bubbles at specific schools. So if we have a large amount of students at at a couple of our schools, we have a bubble of, for example, we might have 5 third grades, and as they move into a 4th grade, we have more students in a 4th grade classroom. And so that then results in a decrease in the number of teachers that you might need at that next grade level. And that's actually what's created most of the issue that we're bringing before you this evening. And then the fourth reason is there is a lack of enrollment at the preschool center. So what is being recommended this evening with this action item is that we're recommending that we approve the preliminary layoff of 3 multiple subject teachers. one half of an ECE teacher position, and one early education expert coordination program staff member, which in that particular case, that is currently a vacant position. So just to give you a sense of this as well, I can stand up here and give you all of these slides and walk you through the wording that's on here, but know that we're very aware of the very human factor to this. It's not a recommendation that we take lightly, and we've actually gone through round and round discussions inside of HR and with our site level teams to try to minimize this number as much as possible.
I do have a public comment on this also.
Sure.
And then we'll do board questions if there are any. Don Stoffer.
Hello. So this resolution calls for the elimination of 3.5 certificated positions. I wonder if it's really necessary. Last year, WSD hired over 50 new educators, certificated educators. And typically, WSD hires on the order of around 40 new educators per year. It would seem that attrition alone would take care of the positions that this is concerning. If the district moves forward, it's very likely that these affected educators will very easily and very quickly find new jobs elsewhere, as we are still in an acute teacher shortage. And from what I hear, the teachers who will probably receive the pink slips are very well respected and are doing well in their classes. And so it'd be a shame to lose them, and I would urge you not to support this resolution. Thank you.
Any board discussion?
Yeah, I had something. Superintendent Luna, you and I spoke about one of the early childhood education positions, and I asked you to get me the name of the person that might be impacted by this, because I may have to recuse myself, as the person was formerly a teacher and sometimes babysitter for me. So if you could pull me aside privately, if you can find out that information, because I would,
There's no reason for you, Trustee Pizzotti, to have to recuse yourself at this time.
Okay.
Okay. I'll simply make a comment that I know this feeling very real as being probationary myself at one point and pink slipped every year, and it's that I was probationary, as was standard. It was a standard practice where I was, and it's gut-wrenching to have like this uneasy feeling, and so it's not taken lightly, and I certainly understand that, and I certainly hope that we are in a place where we can offer these folks back their jobs immediately the second that there's an opening, because I know that we're very much at risk of losing people right now in this situation. Okay, so if there's no further discussion, okay, do I have a motion? I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 1617-23, the reduction of elimination of the particular kinds of certificated staff. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, and all those opposed?
No.
I abstain.
Okay, so we have to do a roll call vote
We're
since
gonna
this
have
is
to.
a resolution. So, Board Trustee Akala?
I'm going to vote no on this.
Okay. Board Trustee Pizzotti?
I abstain.
Okay, Board Trustee Wong?
Aye.
And Board Trustee Cruz?
No.
Okay, so the motion does not pass. Okay, so that takes us to Q3, approval of resolution 1617-24, reduction of classified employee services.
All right, Resolution 161724 is, this is regarding a classified position at our Alice Norman preschool site. And similar in that we've done some assessment of what our needs are at the school site. And due to a lack of work and lack of funds at the school site, currently, we are recommending that one family support specialist that is currently vacant be laid off.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
I move.
Okay, can I have a second?
A second.
Okay, and then this is another roll call vote. So Board Trustee Akala?
Aye.
Board Trustee Wong? Board Trustee Cruz?
No.
Board Vice President Pizzotti?
Aye.
Okay, and I too vote aye. So that takes us now to Q4, which is approval petition for Washington Middle College High School Dependent Charter School. And we have Andy Parsons, Assistant Superintendent.
Good evening again. West Sacramento Early College Prep current charter expires on June 30th, 2017. The renewal charter petition reflecting material revisions to the charter school's educational program has been submitted to the board, seeking approval to extend the charter school's operation for an additional 5-year term from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2022. With the approval of the renewal petition, West Sacramento Early College Prep's educational program will be changed to a middle college high school program to be operated as Washington Middle College High School Charter School. Per the Education Code, a public hearing was held on February 16, 2017, so that the board could consider the level of support for the renewal material revision requests by teachers and other employees of the district, as well as our community. The district staff recommends that tonight the board approve the renewal of the materially revised West Sacramento Early College Prep's charter for a 5-year term to be operated by the district as Washington Middle College High School Charter School for a 5-year period from July 1st, 2017 through June 30th, 2022.
Okay, and I have 2 public comments, if we'd like to hear those first. Okay, we have, first person is Laura Kerr.
Good evening, Laura Kerr with the California Charter Schools Association. We're a statewide nonprofit advocacy group, and we support the high-quality charter schools movement in California. The charter school promise is freedom and flexibility in exchange for results. Charter renewal criteria is really clear in Ed Code. You must use academic performance criteria as the most important piece of data when you decide to renew a charter. This is a charter renewal. It's not a new school approval. Your staff has included 1 year of CAS data as evidence to support your vote tonight. I don't know what to say. I mean, I think tonight is going to be precedent setting. You are an authorizer. You have 2 independent charter schools, and now you provide oversight and directly manage a charter school. The data is just not there. This is literally in the bottom 1% of all schools across the state. So tonight, you're set up to vote in favor of renewing a charter school that is in the bottom 1% of the entire state. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. I mean, the right thing to do is to close this school and to submit a new charter position to close a chapter on West Sacramento Early College Prep and to move forward with your really great idea for a new school with an early college program. Again, it's precedent setting, and it's really disturbing that you're not looking at 4 years of data or outcomes for these kids. So I hope you'll vote no. I hope you'll deny this charter. And I hope you'll move forward with your plans, because I think it's a good one. I think West Sacramento deserves a great program like this.
Okay, thank you. We have Don Stauffer.
Hello again. WSD and the board should be thanked for your efforts to recommitting to making this campus great and giving it the opportunity to reach its full potential. It's encouraging that the program that you plan on adopting concentrates on developing real skills and real achievements for students, as opposed to a system that revolves around test scores. If there's anything that's been learned in education over the last decade, is that making test scores the central focus of schools does not improve achievement, but instead creates an environment that squashes creativity, kills engagement, and makes students passive learners who are rewarded for regurgitating facts of dubious value on test, which are then immediately forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any comments?
I'd just like to make a motion.
It looks like we do have some, so if you want to make a comment.
Yeah, I have a comment. First of all, it was nice to hear from our student that was here tonight about the field trips and the things they are doing there. And I'm not sure if Board President Kirby Gonzalez was on the board when West Sac Early Charter was a flourishing school. I mean, all the students graduated, so it can happen. And I know it's a rebuild year, so I'm excited for our students. I'm excited to see what comes out of this program. My only concern, and I'll leave the rest to the board, is I know it's for 5 years. It is a concern of mine. I know it's something that's up and going, but I will leave that to the rest of the board. The 5 years is just too long for me to wait and see what happens. So, but I am all for this middle school and to give kids of West Sacramento a different opportunity. And I mean, he gave us numbers tonight. 50% of them have 2 classes. A large sum of them have 1 class. So I think going forward, it's going to be a great program.
Okay. Thinking of your concern, I know it's a concern when independent charter schools come to us. We have many reasons to have concerns for that. One is we have teachers tonight who were up for positions leaving, right, because of other schools in our district. In our community. But this is an opportunity that is different than that. When an independent charter comes to us, we have very little oversight truly over what they do. They come up and then they'll come to us for a renewal or a denial. And that's about it, right, in terms of true transparency. And so this is one of our schools, and so we can have our updates, we can put in to have presentations at our board meetings, just like we do for our other schools. And so I understand your concern, but I think because this is a school that is really with us, that we have the opportunity to have close oversight, to know the principal, to know the staff that is there, to know the curriculum, and to know the budget, which was an issue before, right? All of those pieces that we weren't able to address before. And this is a school where I had gone to some of their staff meetings when they had relationships with UC Davis coming in, and we have so many great partners with our Sac City College. And these are the people who know what our kids need for the future. And that I would never ever argue of CAS data being the answer to how successful our students would be in the future. It is going in those rooms, it's watching what the students are doing, it is watching them graduate and then go on and be successful when they enroll. And so I'm very excited about where we are with this, and looking forward to creating a school that our families have asked us for. Our community has been crystal clear that this is what they want, and so I'm excited. So I really thank staff for all the work they've done. We've had this discussion for over a year now. We've been looking at the data for over a year now, and I'm excited.
I'd just add to that, and in all the community forums where we've presented this idea, every single last parent was intrigued at the possibility of sending their parent or their child to a school like this. So I think this is a great opportunity, and it's one we should definitely move forward with. And with that, I'll make a motion.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
I too vote aye. Okay. So that takes us to Q5, approval of Washington Unified School District Educator Effectiveness Funding Plan, February 2017 to June 2018. And that is with Amber Lee, our Assistant Superintendent. And we did hear about this at our last board meeting as well.
Thank you very much. You've had an opportunity to review the plan, and at this time, we are respectfully requesting approval of our Educator Effectiveness Plan to focus on Common Core implementation, rigorous curriculum design, and MTSS, a multi-tier system of support. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved.
And do I have a second? Okay, and all those in favor?
Aye.
I too vote aye. Okay, that takes us to a few of our items that were moved from consent. So we have P2, approval of classified HR recommendations. And so I'll ask if the board member who pulled these would like to make a comment, or if we're going to move to vote.
I just pulled these items so we could vote individually.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve P2, the approval of classified HR recommendations?
Just hang on one second. I want to look this over real quick.
Okay, so can I have a motion?
Yeah, so moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I too vote aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay. P3, approval of certificated HR recommendations.
Same request.
Okay, is there a motion?
I move.
Okay, is there a second? Second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I too vote aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay, and P4, approval of associated student body funds quarterly report.
Individual voting, please.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
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 I too vote aye. All those opposed?
No.
Okay. All right, that takes us then to board governance.
Excuse me, Board
Yes.
President
Oh.
Kirby Gonzalez, with the board's actions of the approval of the certificated human resources recommendations. In the audience, I'd like to introduce our new principal of our Washington Middle College High School, Mr. Sean O'Neill, and he has his family here. That he is going to be leading the helm over at our new high school and creating lots of new innovation and opportunities for our kids. And I'm sure that River City High School is frantically trying to find a replacement to fill his shoes, and so we'll be working on that soon.
Congratulations. I'm quite fond of your hairstyle.
And thank you so much also to your family for being here. I'm sure it's school night, late night. And so thank you. And we are excited and appreciate you loaning your dad to us for this opportunity.
Thank you.
And,
For at least 5 years.
For at least indefinitely, possibly. All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. So that takes us to board governance. And we don't have any items there tonight.
Actually,
yes.
I just wanted to bring up two things, and I guess it'll have to be an action item next time. But at the Yolo County School Board, all the superintendent of Yolo County, as well as the other trustees of the other districts, they would really like that committee board member to be 2 years, a commitment.
Oh.
I know
Okay.
we, as a board, when we appoint for the committees, it's 1 year, but have to bring it to the board and vote. Every year they have a turnover and then they have to start over with new trustees. So it's a recommendation that, maybe on the next board meeting, we can vote to have that committee member 2 years, or if we want to keep it 1 year, that's fine too. But that was something that they requested from each district to find out if the rest of the board, would have any issue with that committee person being 2 years versus the 1 year.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to, I know Board Member Vice President Pizzotti actually sent an email on the Public Records Act, which I've kind of been screaming for the last 2 years. And I just want to let the public know, we're public We're public officials, and anytime we're sitting up here and we're getting texts during this meeting, or we're getting emails, those are public records. So if somebody ever asks us, hey, they can subpoena us for our public records, and we have to show our text, our emails, and so it doesn't just affect us, but it affects whoever's emailing us. So if it's a public meeting and you're texting us, I just wanted to put that out there, that it is a public record. It can be subpoenaed. Your information is given. Our information is given. So I made that disclaimer for a couple of years, but not truly to the public. So I just wanted to put that out there since Board Member Pizzati did send that.
Well, to that point, I think what the article was that I was showing is saying it's not only just your, during a meeting, it's at any time.
Exactly.
Any text that you get on your private device, so any device, any email that you get on your private device can be subpoenaed, so, or can be asked for an information request, so that was my point of sending that.
Yes, okay, thank you for that. And future board agenda items, we have quite a few here listed. And I have added, I'll have it written and hand this to you on the writing to model our agenda for future agenda form for the solar savings. And we heard a glimmer of it from our students tonight, but I'll add that we formally put that on so we hear what the solar savings are in our district as we look at our budget. Is there anything else? Okay. Well, with that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I get a second? I will second. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
I too vote aye. Thank you so much to everyone who came out.